Message held and you're watching Bernama today, 9th of January 2020. Leading the list of news updates today are, of course, with Chinese New Year around the corner, do we have enough mandarin oranges? And mega YouTuber PewDiePie apologizes for harsh comments on Malaysian and Singaporean fans. And in a while later, we'll be speaking to Nabil Nazmi, Azmi, Ambassador of HungerHurtsMy. What's that all about? Stay tuned. And with Chinese New Year just around the corner in a couple of weeks, SMK Pusat Bandar Puchong Satu, the school that was asked to remove its Chinese New Year decorations, have now asked to put it back. Poor kids and teachers have put them up back again ahead of a visit by several government leaders. Reports suggest that the school had ordered the decorations to be taken down the night before. Now, the Deputy Prime Minister was there just yesterday, and there's also a long list of ministers who are expected to make their way there, including the Deputy Education Minister, Teo Ni Cheng, Youth and Sports Minister Syed Saddiq, Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng, Communications and Multimedia Minister Gobind Singh, and Foreign Minister Datuk Saifuddin Abdullah. It was reported that Parti Bumi Putra Perkasa Malaysia, better known as Putra, Vice President and lawyer Muhammad Khairul Azim Abdul Aziz, had demanded the national school remove their Chinese New Year decorations, which the party claimed was unconstitutional. Now, all this was really for naught. Everyone has a need to push the envelope to claim their 5 minutes of fame, it seems. Malaysia, please don't allow it to happen. Putra is a political party led by Ibrahim Ali, who is also the founder of the Malay rights group Pertubuhan Pribumi Perkasa Malaysia. Now, as we continue on all things pertaining to the community, we take a quick look at some of the milestones from the Water, Land and Natural Resources Ministry. Now, if you haven't been in the know already, the Orang Asli residents of Kuala Koh at Gua Musang in Kelantan, who have relied on poor quality of water and uncertain sources, now have received clean and treated water. Also, under the Land and Natural Resources sector, the ministry has planted more than 6.8 million mangrove and coastal tree species on about close to 3,000 hectares of coastal areas nationwide to strengthen the natural fortress to break down and minimize the impact of wind and sea waves. Now, according to our 2019 report card, the ministry says Malaysia has managed to retain more than 50% of its land area as forest cover, as expressed in Malaysia's commitment at the 1992 Rio Earth Summit. The current national forest cover exceeds 55.3% of Malaysia's total land area. And just last year, we also saw the ministry tackling poaching in collaboration with the Department of Wildlife and National Parks and the police via Ops Bersepadu Khazanah. Now, as a result of efforts to combat poachers, 62 people have been arrested throughout 20 operations. Save Our Malayan Tiger campaign was also launched, aimed at preventing the extinction of these majestic animals, covering various aspects including enforcement and increased public awareness. Kudos to the ministry, especially for these campaigns on our wildlife.
It's pretty important that
now, consumers can buy mandarin oranges at similar prices as last year, but the fruits are smaller and not in abundance this year. Now, with Chinese New Year fast approaching, demand for the oranges is high, naturally. Lim Boon Kim, age 53, who has been supplying the fruits to business operators for the past 27 years, says his shipments were delayed this year. He also said the drought in China in November led to smaller fruits this time. Lim also added that he has taken into consideration the current economic uncertainties and reduced the amount of oranges purchased from 3 containers to 2. So consumers can expect to spend about 15 to 20 ringgit for a 4-kilogram box of medium-sized mandarin oranges containing between 28 to 30 fruits. And a box of 24 to 28 large oranges would cost you about 25 ringgit. Of course, these oranges are available at most superstores, basically anywhere really. And I'm sure everyone's stocking up on this very orange fruit for the Chinese New Year celebrations coming up. Now, onto the world of social media, mega YouTuber PewDiePie has apologized for his harsh comments on Malaysian and Singaporean fans. He said he's sorry for comments that he made about Malaysian and Singaporean fans in a video that he posted on January 5th. PewDiePie, or his real name Felix Kjellberg, responded to recent news reports where he described fans in both countries as hectic and squeamish. So he had clarified his earlier comments, saying he was actually comparing fan cultures in different regions in the original video that he had posted. He said that fans in Asia tend to do crazier things when they see him compared to fans in Scandinavian countries such as Sweden, who are, he says, a lot more reserved and calm. Well, he also explained why he was unhappy during his visit here in Malaysia with his then girlfriend, now wife, Marzia Bisonin, back in 2016. Now, the YouTuber was in Kuala Lumpur for a personal holiday, and that, of course, sent fans of his right here in Malaysia into an absolute frenzy as users relied on social media to track his whereabouts. And a local YouTuber had posted a video depicting how he went around the city in Kuala Lumpur looking for this YouTuber and his wife by looking at their tagged photos on Instagram. That's stalking. Well, while in Singapore, the YouTuber said a fan experience was absolute madness as he was met with screaming fans at his hotel entrance back in 2013. He's also had fans chasing him for selfies as he walked around town. He's, of course, the most popular YouTuber on the YouTube platform with over 102 million subscribers. His content ranges from making humorous commentaries on internet culture to playing video games. Onto that, we move to Japan. Japanese kawaii metal band Baby Metal is set to bring its unique brand of J-pop and metal rock to Malaysia come March 27 at KL Live Kuala Lumpur. The Baby Metal Live in KL show will be the second stop for the Asian leg of the band's Metal Galaxy tour, which will also be hitting other cities in the region, including Bangkok, Jakarta and Taipei. Now, the band consists of Suzuka Nakamoto, known as Su Metal, and Moa Kikuchi, known as Moa Metal, who provide the vocals and screaming, backed by the Kami band of session heavy metal musicians. Originally a trio, Baby Metal took to the world by storm back in 2013 with its debut album in 2014, which introduced to the world its unique combination of kawaii, which is Japanese for cute, and heavy metal. Now, its second album, Metal Resistance, was released a few years later, 2016, with a solid international hit and contained hits such as Karate and Gimme Chocolate. Well, from that we move on to this story. A Singaporean man's belief in humanity had been further strengthened after a Malaysian Grab driver drove some 200 kilometers to return a wallet he left behind in the e-hailing car. In a post shared on a Facebook page, JB Tracer, the Johor Bahru Traffic Crime and Community Service Report, Karni Mak said he had taken a Grab ride into Johor Bahru at about 9 p.m. over the weekend on Saturday when he misplaced his wallet. Now, to make matters worse, Mark only realized his wallet was missing when he wanted to pay for dinner. He made a report on the Grab app while heading back to Singapore, and shortly after arriving back home, she had received a call from the Grab driver to inform her that, of course, he will check the car, and of course the update came back on her WhatsApp. She says, "To my delight, Mr. Satish found my wallet. As it was past midnight, we agreed to meet the coming day." And the pair agreed to meet at the JB Central Caltex petrol station where the exchange happened, and the Grab driver drove all the way down from Malacca to return Mark's wallet. Everything was intact, which of course includes the general cards that one has in their wallet, as well as a few $100s. Talking about e-hailing app, now e-hailing company Grab has introduced a 6-month pilot of its on-demand motorcycle service known as Grab Bike, and this is happening in the Klang Valley. And also following success in Indonesia, Vietnam and Thailand, Grab says they have shared knowledge of this region and expertise and experience to develop a framework to provide best practices to raise the safety standards for on-demand motorcycle services in Malaysia, which of course was one of the main areas of interest for authorities and ministries wanting to approve this service in the country. Now, Grab Bike Pilot is part of the government's Proof of Concept program. This was said in a statement released just yesterday. Now, Grab's bike-hailing pilot has been available for trial since January 3rd this year in selected areas within Klang Valley, and its main objective is to evaluate the feasibility and the cultural fit of bike hailing in the local context. Grab users can now opt to use Grab Bike when they are within the Klang Valley area and available for travel within a 10-kilometer radius from the passenger's current location. I think it's quite nifty, it's quite efficient, just gets you, in a close radius. Don't really need to get a four-wheeler for that, in a car for that. Now, users will be served by qualified driver partners who have completed their driver safety training and a practical riding assessment. We'll have to wait and see how this pans out and to see if Grab Bike will come to the country for good. Now, we are about to take a quick break. When we come back, I'll be speaking to my guest, Nabil Nazmi Ahmad Azmi. He is the ambassador for HungerHurts Malaysia, which is, of course, an NGO. We'll be talking a lot more about that. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
我哥他绝对不是一个英雄哦，差太远了，也没有什么特长之处吧。
哎呀，你做什么你？这里全部东西很贵的，我给钱的。
这课本是学校免费给我的，怎么可能是你给钱的呢？
这就是他整年会做的事情啊，生气啊，抱怨啊，唠唠叨叨的。
你哥哥跟其他生意人一样，都有还 tax。 政府收了他们的钱，去做一些对国家有好处的事。你看，马路、路灯、地方发展，还有那些钱，也被用来准备学校的课本，免费食物给需要的学生，还要出粮给你老师呢，也算投资了你的教育。
10 berita paling penting yang anda perlu tahu.
Kita bersama pasukan bawah 18 tahun negara.
Ringkasan berita dalam 15 minit. Laporan wartawan bernama dari seluruh negara dan koresponden bernama di Singapura, Bangkok dan Jakarta.
Dan mampu meletakkan Malaysia sebagai harimau Asia yang baru.
Kini anda ada pilihan, padat dan kredibel. Bernama 7.45, tepat jam 7.45 malam di Bernama TV.
Fokus utama Bernama Radio menyediakan informasi untuk usahawan kecil dan sederhana. Ada hampir 6 juta capaian Bernama Radio meliputi pelbagai program melalui pelbagai platform. Mahu mendekati pelanggan dan pasaran anda? Hubungi kami di talian 03 2050 4436 atau 012 568 3525. Bernama Radio, stesen berita bisnes anda.
Welcome back to Bernama today. HungerHurts is a soul-stirring NGO believing in a poverty-free Malaysia and driven to eradicate poverty throughout the region in Southeast Asia as well. My guest today is Nabil Nazmi Ahmad Azmi. He is HungerHurts Ambassador and he joins us today to talk to us more about the NGO. Welcome to the studio. Thanks for being with us, Nabil.
Thank you for having us, Jessie.
Such a pleasure. Do tell us a little bit more as we begin our conversation today about what HungerHurts really is and what it plans to do, especially now in the new year.
Sure. HungerHurts is actually a non-governmental organization. We are an NGO and we have been registered under the Registrar of Youth, the ROI, and it was established in 2016 by a friend of mine, the founder and the president right now. His name is Faiz. So HungerHurts is all about combating and fighting for urban and rural poverty. Yes, and our main mission is to eradicate urban and rural poverty, as well as to see poverty-free Malaysia and as well as eventually Southeast Asia.
Obviously, this is a youth-driven initiative.
Yes.
How do you find the movement? Do you feel that it's effective in its reach, and do you feel that youth are misunderstood? Where they say it's always like, oh, they're not interested to help. They've been fed with a silver spoon. Do you think there's a misconception around that, given that now Hunger Hurts is driven by the youth?
Yes, correct. The reason why we want to target it to the youth is because we do notice that the youth needs. What they need is actually awareness, because our youth nowadays, they live in a very challenging generation because
agreed.
they have a lot of distractions. Okay, they have a lot of time to do with things on their phone, for example. So that's why our main initiative is to raise awareness, to create awareness, and to make sure the youth get the idea of what poverty really is.
So how do you do that through the movement, and what are some of the flagship programs that Hunger Hurts has carried out?
Okay, so actually our initiatives are categorized in 3 focus areas. So the first one is what we call our short-term planning. Second one is our mid-term planning, and the last one is our long-term planning.
All right.
So the first one is short-term planning. So under short-term planning, we categorize it as providing and also provision of basic necessities. So under this category, we will conduct a few initiatives. We have a few initiatives in our hands, namely the first one is what we call Glimpse of Hope. So Glimpse of Hope is where we go to the streets of KL. We go to the streets of KL collectively as a group, and we will use our own funds. Okay, we will use our own funds, and we will get the food, the shelter, all the basic necessities, the shelter. Sometimes we get toothbrush, sometimes we get toothpaste, and we will hit the streets, and we will not just provide and donate these necessities to the homeless, but also we will interview them. We want to get their own insight. We want to feel. We want to have the empathy.
And what are some of the insights that that Hunger Hurts has received from people on the streets?
It's actually very positive, because they said that it's actually very enlightening to see young NGOs doing this, because there are quite a number of NGOs who are doing it,
right?
But mostly are adults. Okay, but Hunger is one of the earliest young groups who's doing it right now, and from the feedback that we have gotten, they are very pleased. We've heard words such as we wish more young NGOs do this, and they sometimes say something like it is very good because we live like what I said just now. We live in a very difficult generation for youngsters, and it's very enlightening to see youngsters doing this right now. Yeah.
Right, and so there is an initiative now called Soul Searching.
Yeah,
Tell us about that. Sounds exciting.
Okay, Soul Searching is actually one of our latest initiatives. It was launched in August last year. So Soul Searching is the catalyst for Soul Searching is actually it's quite a story. We were interviewed by a group of UiTM students. So they asked us like, hey, why don't you guys donate shoes? And then we were like, okay, we didn't find it intriguing at that time, because we felt like maybe that's not a necessity. We don't find it necessary. But eventually we did a research, because we have our own research team.
Right.
So we did a research, and the result that we have gotten is actually very, very surprising, because actually what we found online, students don't feel comfortable or confident with the inadequacy of school uniform that they have. So at that moment, we thought that, okay, we might just give it a go. Let's try to donate some shoes. So what we did is we have our own creative team. They did a few designs and a few posters, and we have our own marketing team. They will market it on our social media, and alhamdulillah, it reached to a lot of people.
How many people?
Well, our initial target was actually 100 pair of shoes for 1 month.
Okay.
So we started in August up till December. So that was about 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
And actually, we closed the year with almost to 600 pair of shoes donated.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's So you've obviously
Almost
touched a lot of
600.
lives and, you know, helped so many youths or young adults.
Exactly. Yeah, because from my own experience going there, going to the schools, because we contacted. First of all, we will contact the headmaster of the school or the principal of the school, and we will go there. And when we distribute the shoes, that is the most uplifting experience because we can see that the students are very delighted.
Right. How can you get more youth to volunteer or be involved with Hunger Hurts?
Definitely. If you want to be a part of Hunger Hurts, all you have to do is very simple. You just have to go to our Instagram account, which is alias at hungerhurtsmy, hungerhurtsmy, and there you can find a link that you can fill up to be one of our volunteers.
What's the vision, the ultimate goal for Hunger Hurts? Obviously, year upon year, you have more initiatives, and of course, you know, the movement grows as well. But what would be the ultimate vision and goal?
The ultimate vision and goal, like I said just now, our main mission and our sole mission is to see a poverty-free Malaysia and eventually Southeast Asia. Because even though to be honest, the poverty rate is not that high. It's only 0.4 right now.
Right.
Okay?
But it's still a problem.
It's still a problem, yes.
B40 categories.
Exactly.
And below.
And our main mission is to maybe eradicate it to the point to like maybe to 0.0, to negative even.
Absolutely. Much to talk about still. We take a quick breather. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with Nabil just after these messages.
Mengupas isu semasa, merangkumi politik, ekonomi, sukan serta hiburan, membawakan anda agenda pentas dunia.
Welcome back to Bernama Today. I'm Jessie Chahel with the very talented and good-looking, of course, I must say, also Nabil Nazmi. He's the ambassador of Hunger Hurts. That's a movement, a youth organization that focuses on issues of poverty and, of course, world hunger as well.
True.
We've spoken quite a bit about what Hunger Hurts does, but how did you come to be involved? Because you are a blues musician.
That is correct.
And how has that path or journey led you to, you know, give your time and want to take such interest in a movement like Hunger Hurts?
Okay, so actually before this, I was a full-time musician. So like you mentioned, I play the blues. So the reason why I was selected to be the ambassador of this NGO is because of my involvement in the industry, both mainstream and underground. So I've been very active. Both on stage and behind the stage. So my friend, who is the founder now, who is the founder and president of Hunger Hurts, he said that, hey man, I would like to have someone who has at least has some exposure, you know, like in terms of confronting people collectively and individually. So that's how I got myself in Hunger Hurts. And the interesting part of this whole thing is we managed to incorporate both music and Hunger Hurts at the same time.
Right, how?
Because, like I mentioned just now, our second initiative, which is our midterm planning, we target on raising awareness, and we do this one initiative which is called Chance for Happiness. Chance for Happiness is actually a charity gig, a charity concert that we do every quarter of the year. And what we do is we collect, we gather all the talented underground bands to perform, and also we put visual placements at the events to raise awareness for the people who come to the event. So they don't just get the entertainment, they get to raise their awareness about poverty as well.
Fantastic. How has blues shaped you?
Oh my God. Blues shaped me in lots of ways. I started playing when I was 13, and I don't know, I just fell in love the first time I listened to it. Because I believe that music should be something that comes straight out of your soul, and something that you feel that you really should feel some. You have to find meaning about it. So I've tried playing lots of genres, but I still find myself. Before I go to bed every night, listening to some old classic blues.
Well, exactly, because, you know, not many young adults,
Yes.
I guess your peers, they probably, you know, opt to choose or listen to a different kind of genre,
Exactly.
more pop or sort of, you know, more
Rock,
house or
yeah.
rock or whatever it may be.
Totally.
Especially these days, you know, there are, you know, sort of opinions that what is the music these days, right?
Yeah.
As compared to, you know, the classic genre of blues.
Exactly.
So all the best, and thank you so much for coming in and, of course, raising awareness, not just here for our viewers as well, but also through Hunger Hurts, you know, with your music fans and everyone. So all the best again, and we hope to have you back in the studio to tell us more
Nice.
next time about
Thank you so
Hunger
much,
Hurts.
Jessie. Thank you so
Fantastic. That's all the time we have on the show today. Keep it locked on to Bernama TV for more updates coming our way. Bye-bye.
Kerja-kerja penyusunan frekuensi akan dilakukan secara berperingkat. Sekiranya siaran TV digital mengalami gangguan, ikuti langkah-langkah ini. Pilih butang menu pada alat kawalan jauh anda. Pilih carian saluran secara automatik dan tekan OK. Jika anda membuat carian secara manual, masukkan frekuensi saluran mengikut kawasan anda. Layari laman sesawang My Freeview untuk senarai frekuensi. Tekan OK dan tunggu sehingga selesai. Siaran akan ke udara secara automatik. Selamat menonton. Jika anda masih memerlukan sebarang bantuan lanjut, sila hubungi 1-800-18-1088 atau layari laman sesawang My Freeview.
Susahlah hidup macam ni. Apa yang aku buat langsung tak ada